check this out. If you've been keeping up to date with our YouTube channel, you would have noticed Blake's been riding the Focus Jam 2 Squared 9.9. Did I get that right?
Yeah. Bit of a tongue twister.
Bit of a tongue twister, but Blake's been putting in a ton of Ks on this bike, so we thought we'd do a bit of a wrap-up chat before this bike goes back to Focus headquarters. Blake, give us the lowdown. What are the facts and figures about this bike, so travel-wise, and give us a bit of a brief rundown on the bike.
Yeah, so this is the SL version of the Jam Squared, obviously. At the heart and the soul of it is the Ride 60 Fazua motor and battery. This was one of the first bikes that we had with this system. Scotty, you've had it on a couple of bikes now. Yep. I've had it on some different bikes as well. And man, this Fazua system absolutely blows me away every time I get on it.
Yeah, cool.
So got 60 Newton meters of peak power, 430 watt hour battery, and all neat and tidy, like especially on this bike, it is so neatly enclosed, like you can't even tell.
Yeah, I mean, they're super. I mean, I've ridden a couple of now, the Ride 60s as well. I find them, super reliable. There's a couple of naysayers out there, but we've never had a drama with them, eh?
No, not at all.
And super smooth power delivery, but you've been riding this a lot longer than me, so I mean, reliability wise, this thing hasn't skipped a beat.
No, the only thing I have a little nitpick with is the mode selector.
Yep.
Right from the word go, to be honest, we couldn't figure out how to turn this thing on either. There was a bit of Googling going on, that kind of thing, but it does feel a little bit too sort of plasticky compared to other componentry out there. But look, I'm sure down the line they'll revise that and that kind of thing.
Yeah, I've ridden one of those as well, and like it does work really well. It's reliable, but at times I found it like maybe a little bit sticky.
Yeah, a little bit sticky. It's got like a little bit of a rattle to it, but look, other than that, if that's all we can sort of nitpick on the whole drive system, like I'll happily take that, given all the benefits through the Ride 60.
Yeah, cool. So this is like a mid-travel trail style bike. Give us a bit of a rundown on, say, how would you say the ride characteristics? Is it planted, playful? Like, give us a bit of a lowdown on actually how this bike rides.
So yeah, like you said, we're mid-travel, so we're working with a 160 fork, 150 mil of the fold linkage system from Focus. Suspension is taken care of by the Fox Performance. So we've got a 36 up the front, Float X out the back. This bike was supplied to me. This is the only size they had available at the time, which I was a little bit like, I don't know if it's going to work, but this is actually a small. So I myself, obviously quite short, 170 centimeters, but even for me, before I got on it, I was like, it's probably going to be too small. But I've actually really, really enjoyed having a slightly smaller, especially on the e-bike.
Yep.
Man, this thing's so bloody playful. Like,
I'll tell you what, but like for like a mid-travel sort of trail style, SL e-bike, it's pretty capable, eh? Like, I mean, I've seen you smack some stuff on our locals on this thing, and for a bike like that's a playful style e-bike, it's still pretty bloody capable over the heavier stuff.
Absolutely, yeah. And it's worth noting, like, this is only comes as a full 29. I'm sure you could probably mullet it. It's got a little bit of a flip chip in there, but it comes out of the box as a full 29er. So having that smaller overall size with the bigger rear wheel, like it's kind of makes up for a little bit of that. But
plus, like if you see one of these in the flesh, like these things look dynamite. Hey?
Oh man, it's a beautiful bike. Absolutely beautiful bike.
So in short, to wrap it up, I mean, who is this bike geared towards? If you're going to go, okay, I'm going to go buy a new e-bike, and you were considering one of these, like, who's this really built and marketed towards?
To be honest, like this SL in particular is the elusive quiver killer. Like, you can literally ride these things turned off, like happy as Larry. Like if you've got mates that aren't, lucky enough to have e-bikes or whatever, you can happily like ride this with those guys. You can ride with full powered e-bikes, like up in the higher power mode. It's, it's an all-rounder for sure. Like, and like you said, Scotty, like it's this bike in a slightly smaller size, pretty bloody playful, very capable on the descents as well though, depending on how you got it set up. So it's just equivocal. It's an absolute all-rounder.
Yeah, go anywhere, do anything on it.
Exactly.
Own, maintain, buy one e-bike, and you can pretty much, I mean, sure, you're going to stretch it a bit on the really big stuff. Of course. But if you just want to own and maintain one, like, you can pretty much do it all, hey?
Exactly, yeah, for sure.
There you have it, guys. If you want a super good, aggressive trail style SL e-bike, consider Focus bikes, because Blake's been riding them, I've ridden a couple, and they're absolutely dynamite, so check it out.